Yo, good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? This is your coach Renz, and today we're going to talk about why fear and faith are exactly the same thing. You may have heard me mention one of the laws of the universe, and that is the law of polarity, right? Now, the law of polarity says that most things are a negative and a positive, and on one end is the negative, and on the other end is the positive. And the idea of moving our vibrational pattern upward is to move it towards the positive. Now, here's the thing about that. Fear and faith both exist in your mind. They're both thoughts that you create. Thoughts that you create based on something possibly happening or not happening. Fear and faith are the same thing. They come from the same essence. You may want to start a business. You're either going to have fear about the business or you're going to have faith about the business. And there are 1,000 landing spots in between. So you're going to fall somewhere within there. And the question is, are you more towards fear or more towards faith? But it's on the same scale. Fear says that you're going to start a business and it's going to fail, or you're just not going to be able to get the funds or get the location or get something or do whatever it costs or takes to be able to start the business. So you could be far to the left and you will never ever start that business. Complete faith on the right says that you don't know how or where you're going to get the money or how the business is going to start or whatever, but you just know that it's going to start. And it will, and that's where you are, and you're far to the right. Now, there are thousands of places in between where you can have faith to a certain extent and then a little bit of fear. Or you can be in the middle, and we like to call that, reality or being a realist is that in the middle where we can start a business, and yes, I know we can get the money from these places, but I also know that we may not be able to get all the money, or we can do this or we can do that, and it may make some money, but it may fail, and you kind of vacillate. That's that lukewarm thing. That's that straddling the fence kind of deal where you're trying to say, am I going to have faith or am I going to have fear? Understand they're both the same thing. It's just the thoughts in your mind. The thing about it, what's so perverse about it, is the results, the symptoms that come back off of it. You see, if you're walking around in fear of something, fear causes the symptoms. The symptoms of fear are so vast. Procrastination is a symptom of fear. Procrastination. You're so fearful of starting a business, that you're being in a relationship or going on a trip, that you procrastinate and you never get it done. I got this to do. I got that to do. I'll take care of it tomorrow. I'll get to that next week. Procrastination it derives out of fear, and it starts to cause you to miss opportunities and miss time. The next one, another one, not the next one because there's so many, it's so vast. The next one out of fear, after procrastination, is the fact that you start to have your reasons, and these are really just excuses. All right, they're just excuses. What do they say? Reasons are the excuse, or the skin of an excuse wrapped in a lie. They're just excuses, because fear is a lie to yourself. But so you got these excuses of why you can't, I can't do it now because of this, and I can't do it now because of that. I have to wait, and maybe, I got to do this first, or I got to do that first, instead of just stepping out on faith. That's why they say it, step out on faith, because you have to do it regardless of the fear, regardless of the excuses, regardless of the procrastination, regardless of the obstacles in your way. You have to go ahead and just step on faith, meaning you have to walk towards the side of the higher vibration along the polarity scale to the faith side, to the knowing side. See, that pure faith is not just a belief in something that's not real. It is a knowing that it exists. Knowing that it exists. And that's the way we want to move to. How do we get there? Well, it's easily said, difficult to do. In order to change your vibrational pattern, to move you up the scale, you have to begin to change the way you think about things and perceive them. Because if your perception determines your actions, how you think about things will determine how you move in this world. And the thing about this world, whether we are succeeding or failing, doesn't really matter. It's all about trying. Are you trying? Because trying is all we ever do. Let me put it like this. If right now you lost everything, I'm talking everything, your home, your clothes, your car, your job or business, you lost everything, how would you recover? How would you literally recover? Now, for those who live in fear, they would not recover. They would become the homeless. They will become vagabonds. They wouldn't recover at all. They may become suicidal, and that's the ultimate failure, is suicide. So some will become that. But in truth, most of us, we have family members and friends that we would call and we can go and stay with them. We have talents that we can utilize and we can bring out of ourselves to go get work and start earning some money. Yes, it may take a year, 2 years, 3 years to fully recover, but we will recover. And then once we recover, we continue to strive. Why? Because it wasn't something we went through, it became something we grew through. So as we grow from that experience, it creates a new part of our core self. And that core self teaches us that we continue to try and we continue to move forward, and that we move into realms that we've never moved into before. Why? Because we've moved up the scale from fear to faith. Because we're not being afraid, because we've changed our mind, our perception. So if you lost everything, you would recover. Now let's change it. Let's say you went out and you did some things and you succeeded vastly. You succeeded vastly. You now have the house, you have the car, you have the spouse, you have the lifestyle, the travel, the everything. Many people who have achieved those heights, do they stop? No, they don't stop. Guess what they do? They find other challenges in their life. They find other things to do, other things to attempt. They say, okay, I succeeded in the business world. Now I want to succeed in the philanthropy world. I succeeded in the business world. Now I want to succeed in the missionary world. I succeeded in this world. Now it's time for me to experience a whole new world. We go and we try something else. Why? Because life is about trying and continuing to grow. It's about growing through things, because those experiences create our core self. But we have a distortion from the mammalian brain that goes into our upper levels of consciousness that then makes us think that we are something different. But it is your core self that you are, and these are your experiences. And based on your experiences, when have you succeeded? When have you recovered? Those are the ways you change from going from into a fear state to a faith state, by focusing in on your successes, but not just your successes, the successes that occur to you when something didn't go the way you wanted to go, didn't go the way your perceived faith said it was going to go, and you recovered and then went into a whole nother realm of existence. That's how we get rid of fear. That's how we change it, because we change our thoughts, we change our perceptions. And as long as we continue to change our thoughts and our perceptions, then we will continue to move up the polarity scale to faith. And once we truly get to faith and truly have a knowing, an understanding, then we will have a knowing. Knowing. And knowing is when it doesn't matter what happens or what others say. If you think it, you just know it will be. Plain and simple. There's no other way it could come out. It can't be any other way than what you just said and what you feel and what you just know. So that's how we get past our fear. Our fear and faith are on the same scale. It's all about your thoughts and your activities that'll move you up the scale. Your greatness is non-negotiable, and so am I, and so is mine. Never live in fear. Let's grow through these things.